T-square in astrology explained, TheAstroKing. T-square. A T-square is one of the most dynamic and motivating chart patterns in Western astrology. It forms when two planets oppose one another while both create square aspects to a third planet, producing a triangle shaped like the letter T. Unlike the harmonious flow of a grand trine, a T-square creates tension that encourages action, resilience, and continuous personal development. Many astrologers view this pattern as one of the strongest indicators of ambition, determination, and growth. What is a T-square? A T-square is a chart pattern formed by one opposition, 180 degrees, and two square aspects, 90 degrees. Two planets oppose each other while both form squares to a third planet, known as the focal planet. This combination creates internal tension that seeks resolution through action, rather than allowing energy to flow easily. The T-square continually motivates a person to solve problems, overcome obstacles, and develop greater self-awareness. Why a T-square matters? A T-square often becomes one of the strongest sources of motivation within a natal chart. Although it introduces challenges, those challenges frequently become the driving force behind personal achievement and long-term success. People with a T-square commonly develop resilience, determination, problem-solving ability, and emotional strength because they repeatedly learn to work through difficult situations. How astrologers identify a T-square? Astrologers examine planetary aspects to determine whether two planets form an opposition while both simultaneously square a third planet. Together, these three aspects create the distinctive T shape within the birth chart. The interpretation depends on the planets involved, the zodiac signs they occupy, the houses they influence, and any additional aspects connecting to the pattern. The three parts of a T-square. Every T-square contains three important components that work together to shape its meaning. Opposition represents two opposing needs, viewpoints, or life experiences that seek balance. Hollow square aspects create tension, challenge, motivation, and opportunities for growth. Focal planet. The planet receiving both square aspects becomes the primary outlet through which the T-square expresses itself and seeks resolution. Strengths and challenges of a T-square. A T-square is often associated with determination, resilience, ambition, and continuous self-improvement. The tension created by the pattern encourages individuals to develop skills, overcome obstacles, and discover strengths they may not have recognized otherwise. At the same time, the pressure generated by a T-square can sometimes produce frustration, impatience, or inner conflict. Learning to work constructively with this energy allows the pattern to become one of the greatest sources of personal achievement. Interpreting a T-square in a birth chart. Professional astrologers interpret a T-square by studying the opposition, the focal planet, the zodiac signs involved, the houses occupied, and any additional aspects connected to the pattern. Every component contributes important information to the overall interpretation. The chart ruler, dominant planet, elemental balance, modalities, and planetary dignity further influence how the T-square expresses itself. These supporting factors reveal where challenges arise and how they can be transformed into personal strengths. Does a T-square mean a difficult life? No. A T-square does not predict failure or misfortune. Instead, it highlights areas where growth occurs through experience, persistence, and learning. Many accomplished individuals possess T-squares because the pattern encourages continuous improvement and resilience. Rather than viewing the pattern as negative, modern astrologers often see it as a powerful source of motivation that inspires achievement and long-term personal development. T-square versus other chart patterns. Unlike the harmonious energy of a grand trine, which allows talents to flow naturally, a T-square creates constructive tension that motivates action. The challenges represented by the pattern often become catalysts for growth and accomplishment. Every chart pattern serves a different purpose. While a grand trine emphasizes ease and natural ability, a T-square develops strength through persistence, problem solving, and overcoming obstacles. Example: interpreting a T-square. Suppose a birth chart contains the Sun in Aries opposite the Moon in Libra, with Saturn in Cancer forming square aspects to both planets. An astrologer breaks this pattern down into 4 key components. Opposition. The Sun and Moon create a tension between personal independence and the desire for harmony in relationships. Saturn, focal planet, becomes the primary outlet for resolving the pattern through discipline, responsibility, patience, and long-term planning. Square aspects. The 2 squares create motivation to balance personal needs with obligations and emotional security. Overall chart pattern. The T-square continually encourages growth through challenges, helping the individual build resilience and maturity. Interpretation. This individual may experience recurring situations that require balancing independence, relationships, and responsibility. Over time, these experiences cultivate patience, leadership, emotional strength, and the ability to overcome significant obstacles.